Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Curtis. Thanks for joining me. Marvell had a tremendous day today. Jumped up $20 in one session, 7.25%. And then, of course, they've been just on fire as of late. They ended up having a small pullback and trying to pick back up some steam right now. If you take a look at this chart, we'll pull back to the 1 month right here. They were at the high of $316. Pulled back down, kind of consolidated in this range right here, was down at about 260-ish, in the mid 260-ish, and jumped up to 297.89 at close today. Crushed it today for Marvell. The semiconductors crushed it as well. Marvell did well, Micron did well, NVIDIA did well. All the semiconductors, most of them at least, did very well. Here it says what's happening with Marvell. Let's read this real quick. Marvell Technology has experienced a 45% surge in stock price over the past month, driven by record revenues and strong guidance for Q2 2027. Analyst remains optimistic, with several raising price targets amid favorable outlook in the data center sector and AI opportunities. So that sounds pretty good for Marvell. I mean, they're crushing it right now. Marvell is the connecting pieces for all the data center, right? I mean, you've got NVIDIA and AMD with the GPUs, CPUs. You know, you've got Micron attached with the memory and stuff like that. But Marvell attaches all these data centers. They're the pipeline for everything. So they're much needed, and they're looking pretty darn good right now. They're working with a lot of the Mag 7, right? With Amazon, with Microsoft, with NVIDIA. And so that is exactly why Jensen Huang says that, hey, they are the next trillion-dollar company. Now, if we take a look into today, how they performed, hey, take a look right here. They had a gap up with no catalyst. Can you believe that? Gap up from 275-ish up to 296 with no catalyst, and then they kind of just grinded throughout the day, kind of consolidated throughout the day, looking pretty good. Marvell was really exciting today, especially if you caught this momentum in the morning. Now, what I want to show you all is the RSI, okay, relative strength index for Marvell, some technical indicators. I'm going to show you guys their moving average as well, see how they're performing, and then I'm going to show you all the volume to see how Marvell is actually looking for the rest of the week. So first off, let's pull up the advanced chart, okay? So if you are pulled up the stock already, we've got Marvell MRVL. There's the advanced chart right here. Click on that. And then once you've got that, as you can tell, I already have my presets in there from the last video I made about Micron. If you haven't checked that video out yet, at the end of this video, I'll throw it up here or up here somewhere for you guys to take a look at if you're interested in Micron. One thing is you can't isolate a stock when you're doing an analysis. Okay, you've got to take in consideration everything that can potentially impact it, the economics, the other stocks in the sector, oil issue out in the Middle East, what's going to happen with the Federal Reserve. You got to keep all those things in mind. So that being said, right, I would suggest see what's going to happen with Micron. There might be some sympathy trading. What that means is sometimes if Micron goes one way, Marvell might chase it as well, just because they're kind of in the same sector. So I'm going to go ahead and actually get rid of the indicators first and reset it up. That way you guys can see how this is done. All you've got to do is if you hover over this symbol right here, you click on indicators, right? And then we'll go ahead and this is where you can search it up, but I've got it right here already. We'll go ahead and set up the moving average. And for a volatile stock and a parabolic stock like Marvell, what you want to do is you want to cut down the moving average. We'll do an 8-day moving average, and then we'll do the exponential, the EMA. They say that it's better for you know, closer range. We'll do that. We're going to go ahead and set up another one. We're going to do a 21-day, so that way we can get some comparison there. Exponential, and then we'll make this one a lighter shade of red. Okay, so the lighter shade of red is going to be the 21-day, and then the darker red, it's going to be the 8-day. Now, what you want to see is actually price climbing above these moving averages. That's how you know it's got momentum. So, for example, if you take a look at the left of the screen right here, okay, price is beating the 8-day, which is great. So that's momentum right there. Now, and one thing as well is you want to see that the most recent moving average, the 8-day, is beating the older moving average. The 8 days beating the 21-day moving average, and which it is because it's on top. So that means that it's got pretty good momentum. Price on top of the 8-day moving average, it's looking pretty good. It's got good momentum. That's what it's telling you, and it's moved like that throughout today. So you can also back up a little bit. I'm looking at the 5-day view, and you can go ahead and kind of get a gauge for how it's been performing as well, 5 days, and then of course 1 month as well. And then as you can tell, right, the 1 month, because Marvell has had a lot of strong sentiment, especially getting into the S&P 500, getting re-ratings, getting that push from Jensen Huang, the godfather of AI, saying that they're the next trillion-dollar company. The 8-day moving average is already on top of the 21-day moving average. That shows, again, right, good momentum. And then, of course, the price is holding up as well. So, of course, it has a couple dips right here, but then it's going to revert back to the mean and kind of even out a little bit, at least during that time frame. Not always a promise, but that's a pretty good sign. So anyways, that is the 8-day, 21-day moving average. It's looking good. It's got good, strong momentum right now. But you know what? I mean, let's confirm that with the RSI. They call that the relative strength index. We'll do a 14-day RSI. It'll be black line. And then right here, we'll just set the default 80 overbought and 20 oversold. And this right here is the 14-day RSI. As you can tell, it's kind of just grinding through around the 50-ish range right here. So that means that, it's the sentiment is kind of neutral right now. Of course, if it goes up towards the 80 range, that means that it's overbought. That means that people are liking it, they're buying it, and as you can tell, when it climbs up right here, it's also moving up right here as well. Same thing, right? When it starts to come down, you can kind of tell the trend is they're starting to sell off a little bit up here on the price as well. So again, it's grinding around the 50-ish, so the momentum's kind of neutral with the RSI, but right now the price is on top of the 8-day and 21-day moving average, so decent momentum in my book. Another tool that we're going to use to confirm this is going to be the volume and price action. So the way you do that, okay, is if you go back out into Marvell and click on historical data. And I've already got it pulled up here, but historical data will show you this table chart right here. And as you can tell, okay, again, had a very powerful day at 200, closed at $297, $19 jump today, 7% jump, strong day. But you want to confirm with the volume, right? And boom, if you take a look right here, 22, they've got the 22 million volume today. Now, if we back right back into the Marvell and see what their average trading volume is, 42 million, right? 42 million. Today, they only moved 22 million. That's half. That means that although their price did jump a lot, there were more buyers than sellers today, but the amount of shares that were traded was cut down in half compared in relative to its average volume. Now, you take a look, okay, the day before, yesterday, 31 million. On the 26th, 41 million. On the 25th, 39 million. So, of course, it's much less volume. And what that means that, it's not, to me, it's not a confirmed momentum move just yet. What you really want to see is high momentum, kind of like this one right here on June 18th. We've got 250 million. That's the move into the S&P 500, which was the catalyst, drove the price up. If you can tell, look, we've got $289 up to $310 in one day, right? With this amount of shares moving back and forth. So that volume right there, okay, that's a strong momentum move. So you want to kind of keep an eye out for those type of things when you make your judgment call. And then lastly, what I want to show you all is the screener. Okay, what I ended up doing is if you go into the research, you can actually set up these screeners. And what I wanted to determine was how the volume was like in the sector. Of course, I filtered everything out. We've got NVIDIA, Intel, Micron here, AMD, Marvell right here. And as you can tell for today, okay, June 30th, we've got all these average volume. If you take a look at NVIDIA, they're at 3-month average volume trades 160 million. It was cut down in half today, 83 million. Look at Intel, 130 million, okay? 82 million today. And then you've got Micron, average of 52 million, only about 29 million. So you go down the list, same thing, Marvell, they were cut down in half. My thought to this is that, we're in a holiday week, and then we're also trying to rebound back from moving into a risk-on type sentiment with investors. They want to kind of take this a little slower, let it kind of grind to newer highs, especially in a holiday week, and not sure exactly what's going to happen with geopolitical news and Fed news and things like that as well. So those are things you want to kind of keep an eye on. Right now, with the volume being lighter in the semiconductors, although the prices are going up, right, I wouldn't consider it exactly a confirmed momentum, but I mean, it's a good sign. Okay, so what I would do is, if you were to ask me, my opinion is you should keep an eye on the volume, keep an eye to see if they've got large volume climbing in tomorrow, day after, and of course with high volume, you want to see the prices changing upwards as well. So that's what I want to share with you all. Now, if you've got Marvell did terrific today. Congratulations. I love Marvell. I love Micron. I love these semiconductor stocks, at least for now. And I'm really happy for you all for Marvell jumping up that substantially today, to almost $20 practically. So looking pretty darn good and exciting. That's all I've got for you guys. If you like this video, click that like button for me. Click the subscribe for me. And if you got any questions, comments, drop it into the comments. I hope you like the RSI. I hope you like the moving average. I hope you like the technicals on this and some insights. So I'll see you all next time. Make it a great day.